Hi, I'm Maria Walther,
I'm Jessica Walsh.
and we're two traveling teachers. We have not been together on Zoom since May to talk books, and all of you who are teaching right now can completely understand why, because it's so busy and there's just so much going on. But we really wanted to come back together today to focus on books about friendship, because during these times, during the pandemic, it's really friendship that is keeping us grounded and together. Our friendship with others. And the book I'm going to start with today is Evelyn Del Rey is Moving Away. And I picked this book because it's about a lasting friendship. And that's what's one of the things that's helped me through COVID. I have a friend I've known since I was 2. We've seen each other over the years, but during this time we've been meeting to walk, and what a joy and wonderful thing that is. So in this book, Evelyn and Daniela are friends, and Evelyn is moving away, and it's just a joyful celebration of their last day together in the same space. It's by Meg Medina and Sonia Sanchez, and you can pair it with so many other wonderful books about moving and friendship. And I'm not going to give away the ending because that is my absolute favorite part. So that's Evelyn Del Rey is Moving Away, about lasting friendships. On the Candlewick site, there's an interview with Meg Medina talking about the book. I would highly recommend listening to that. All right, Jess, your turn.
Anytime I get to listen to Meg Medina talk is a good day. So I'm going to
Mhm.
listen to that. It doesn't matter what she says. She could read, the phone book to me. I'm going to pair that with American as Paneer Pie by Supriya Kelkar. And this is an upper middle grade book. You might recognize Supriya Kelkar's name from The Many Colors of Harpreet Singh, her picture
Oh, yeah.
book, or
Okay.
Ahimsa. And she's got a couple of new books coming out. And the cover of this book just made me want to pick it up. Like, if there's food on the cover of a book, like, I'm in. I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but when there's food, like, I'll pick it up. So this book, while Evelyn Del Rey is about friends moving away, this is actually about a book about a friend moving in. And so Leka lives in Detroit, Michigan, and she is the only Indian American girl who goes to her school outside of Detroit, which is similar to the author's upbringing. And she feels like she has home Leka and school Leka. So she keeps her Indian traditions and celebrations at home, and then she kind of hides them at school because it's drawn the attention, some negative attention from a bully. And she can never come up with the words to come back at what he says to her. Now, a family moves into the neighborhood from India, and she's excited to know that there's a girl who's her age. And Avantika moves in, and she doesn't care about sharing her Indian heritage wherever she is. And when the bullies come after her at school, she always has a comeback. And so she's proud of her Indian heritage. And so together they navigate like changing friendships in school, speaking up about political tensions in town. So it's a book about learning to speak up, but with your friends around you. So that's American as Paneer Pie by Supriya Kelkar.
Ooh, I want to read it now. This is the problem. So many
Well, one
books.
of my students, when I was book talking it the other day, she unmuted herself and she goes, "I just ate paneer today." And I was like, "Great." And so she's on the list to read. So, food connects us, right?
It does
Even
connect
when
us.
we're not together.
The next book is Swashby and the Sea, and I just love this book. It's by Beth Ferry, who of course gave us Stick and Stone, and Juana Martinez Neal, who gave us so many beautiful books, but Alma, one of my favorites. And it's a book about a salty, old retired seaman who just wants to be alone. And I have to read this page so you can kind of hear the language. Swashby battened down the hatches, hid when the doorbell rang, and fed their oatmeal cookies to the gulls. He didn't need neighbors. He didn't want neighbors. Neighbors were noisy, a nuisance, annoying. So in return, he left a message written clearly in the sand, and you can see it says, "No trespassing," which the sea fiddled with just a little bit. And then it turns into, as you can see here, sing.
Mm.
And so the girl read, and she did that. She sang every song she knew while dancing up and down Swashby's deck. So little by little, she shows Swashby the value of friendship and joy. And together at the end, you can even see like how he changes over the course of the story. So it's a great story for how characters change over time. And here they are. After that, it was easy for Swashby to have tea with the girl and her granny, and ice cream and lobster and s'mores on the beach. It was even easy for him to see that neighbors could be fun and friends and family. So just a beautiful book about intergenerational
Mhm.
friendship, a lot of fun with words. So that's Swashby in the Sea.
Those illustrations are gorgeous.
I know she's so talented.
Yes. I'm going to pair that with Something to Say by Lisa Moore Ramey. So Lisa Moore Ramey, you might remember her from her debut book, A Good Kind of Trouble, which is has been winning all kinds of awards. This is her second book, Something to Say, a middle grade book that is about a girl who doesn't want any friends. Like she's cool with just herself. She's like she's quiet. She's a deep thinker, and she's just good with that. Her mom wants her to have friends and she's just like, why? And so that reminds me of Swashby. But until a boy moves in and doesn't care if she doesn't want friends because he's going to be her friend,
Mm.
and he's everything that she's not. He's got this fiery red hair. He talks all the time. He wants to be in debate club, and she almost has a panic attack thinking about having to give a speech in class. So they're an unlikely pair, but it makes for tons of humor and good friendship. And then there's also some taking action together with your friends, similar to American Penny or Pie. And I'm sharing this. I don't have the print book because I read this with my ears. And we have a lot of readers who are accessing texts, audiobooks during this time if they can't get their hands on the print book. And this is just an awesome listen. And so if you can get an audiobook copy of Something to Say, I highly recommend. I love this narrator. She's narrated some other books I've read before. And so that's Something to Say by Lisa Moore Ramey.
And just that whole idea of unlikely friendships is always, so interesting in a book. And I'm always amazed, Jess, sometimes how we can find a picture book and a YA or middle grade book that are so similar.
I
And you
know.
really
Well, and
could.
then it's perfect for like studying those themes, right? I was just thinking if you do something more to say as a whole class read aloud or in a book club, just bringing in those picture books as extra text in the set to talk about, the similarities and differences, those latter books.
Mhm.
Reading is
Amazing.
magical.
All right. And then, so we had two books with characters who were human. And we'll end this one with a character who is a ghost. You probably have seen this already. If you haven't, you need to. It's Flavia Drago's debut picture book, and also a wonderful video of her talking about the book and her process so they can access. It's Gustavo the Shy Ghost. And Gustavo is so shy. He doesn't even really feel he can't figure out how to make friends, and he can't really figure out how other people can make friends so easily. And in the video she shares that that's how she felt as a young child, and so he is actually invisible to his peers until finally he uses his talent of violin playing and decides to have a concert on the Day of the Dead in the cemetery. And at first he feels like no one's there, but you come to find out that many people have joined him in his concert, and that changes his life and the way he views friendship. So it's just such a beautiful, beautiful book, and her process was amazing. So I'd highly recommend the video. And that's Gustavo the Shy Ghost by Flavia Drago.
I'm also pairing that with a book about the supernatural. So this is The Total Eclipse of Nestor Lopez by Adriana Cuevas. And this is a new middle grade, came out this summer, about a boy who can talk to animals. And he wants to keep it a secret. So he moves to a new town. His dad is deployed in Afghanistan. And so he's kind of working through moving through the move, new friends, and some who turn out to not be good friends. And suddenly, on top of all of that, animals around the town start to disappear. And so there's this mystery involved, and he ends up having to use his communication skills to talk to animals to find out what's happening. And so, with a couple of friends and the animals, they work to try to defeat a witch that they believe is in the middle of all of this. So there's some mystery, there's some fun, a little bit of spookiness for this time of year. The author Adriana Cuevas was a former teacher, and
Oh, okay.
so she talks a little bit about that on her website. And one of my favorite things, is that there's an axolotl. I don't know if you know this animal, an axolotl. in the book, which I was very excited about because I love axolotls. It's our class like mascot. I have this little stuffed animal downstairs in my remote classroom. And when I was reading up on Adriana, she owns an axolotl as a pet. And so I'm going to have to find out how she manages having her own axolotl, maybe do a little research, personal research. But
Yeah,
um,
if you can have one of those. Well, th- yeah, there's Jess Keating has that book about
yes, as
axolotls.
cute as an axolotl.
Yes,
Yes,
okay.
and they've just kind of been coming up. I've been crossing paths with people who own axolotls, and a couple summers ago we were at the shed, and I saw this cute little stuffed axolotl. I'm like, when I get back in the classroom, that's going to be our mascot. So it's downstairs in our remote classroom. His name is Axel, the axolotl, and so yeah. So I digress, but that's the Total Eclipse of Nestor Lopez by Adriana Cuevas.
And thanks for joining us again. Hopefully it won't be 6 months until we get back to doing this. We're two traveling teachers and we'll see you next time. Take care.